All right, everybody, get ready, because today we're diving into a topic that's teeming with, well, new life.
We're talking vertebrate reproduction, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride.
That's right. You folks send in this fascinating research on how animals make more animals vertebrates, specifically. And, well, let's just say there are more ways to make a baby than Dr. Seuss could have dreamed up.
Absolutely. And the why behind these strategies is just as fascinating as the how. We're talking millions of years of evolution shaping how creatures from fish to frogs to, yes, even us, ensure the survival of their species.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack in this deep dive. So buckle up, folks, because it's time to explore the ins and outs, sometimes literally, of how vertebrates do the deed and why they do it the way they do. I mean, think about it, right? It all starts with fertilization. Seems simple enough, right?
Yeah.
But even there are two main ways this whole baby-making process gets going.
You've got it. And those two ways are external fertilization and internal fertilization. Now, while it might seem like just a difference in location, it actually speaks volumes about an animal's evolutionary history and the environment it's adapted to.
Okay, so let's break it down. What's the deal with external fertilization?
Think of your classic frog pond scene. You've got frogs releasing massive quantities of eggs and sperm directly into the water.
Talk about a wild party.
It's a numbers game, really. By releasing such huge quantities of gametes, they increase the chances of successful fertilization in an environment where those eggs and sperm are susceptible to predators, currents, and all sorts of other hazards.
So it's like they're hedging their bets, right? More eggs, more chances of at least some of them making it.
Precisely. Now, on the other hand, we have internal fertilization, which is more common in land-dwelling animals and some aquatic species as well.
Right. Like us mammals.
Exactly. Internal fertilization offers greater control and protection. Fewer offspring are produced, but their chances of survival are often significantly higher.
It makes sense. I mean, if you're not dumping a zillion eggs and sperm into the water hoping for the best, you can invest more resources and fewer offspring, right?
Exactly. And that brings us to another point of variation, how those fertilized eggs actually develop and make their grand entrance into the world. We're talking about the different modes of reproduction: ovipary, oviparity, and viviparity.
Okay, I gotta be honest. Whatchamacallit always trips me up a bit. But let's start with the one we're all familiar with, ovipary or egg-laying.
Sounds basic, but it's incredibly diverse. You've got hard-shelled eggs, like those of birds, soft-shelled eggs, like many reptiles lay, and even eggs that provide a built-in food source, like those of some insects.
It's amazing how much variation there is within one category.
And you can't forget about the level of parental care that comes with egg laying. Some species lay their eggs and peace out, leaving their offspring to fend for themselves, while others stick around, incubating the eggs, protecting them, and even teaching their young once they hatch.
Talk about dedicated parents.
Right. Now let's tackle that tongue twister. Oviparity.
Hit me with it.
So picture this. The eggs are fertilized internally, just like with viviparity, but instead of those eggs being laid externally, they're retained within the mother's body.
Okay, so it's like they're incubating their eggs internally.
You got it. And here's where it gets really cool. The eggs actually hatch inside the mother, and the young are either born live or hatch very shortly after the eggs are laid.
Whoa, that's wild. So why go through all that? What's the advantage?
It's a brilliant strategy for dealing with harsh or unpredictable environments. By keeping the developing embryos inside their bodies, mothers can provide a stable environment, protecting them from temperature fluctuations, predators, and other threats.
So it's like having a built-in portable nursery.
Exactly. Now, finally, we have viviparity, which is what we humans are most familiar with. Live birth.
No eggs involved, just straight-up baby delivery.
You got it. And while it might seem like the most advanced form of reproduction, it's important to remember that evolution isn't about a linear progression. Viviparity has evolved independently multiple times in different lineages.
So it's not like one method is inherently better than the other. They're all just different strategies that work well in different contexts.
Exactly. Now, speaking of adaptations, we've got to talk about a real game changer in vertebrate evolution, the amniotic egg.
Ooh, yes. The amniotic egg.
Yeah.
A true revolution in the animal kingdom. And without it, we probably wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
You can say that again. The amniotic egg, with its protective shell and its own little self-contained aquatic environment, allowed vertebrates to make the incredible leap from water to land.
Talk about a pivotal moment in evolutionary history. No longer bound to watering environments, these early amniotes, which eventually gave rise to reptiles, birds, and mammals could spread out and colonize a whole new range of habitats.
It's like they traded in their swimsuits for hiking boots. And this brings us to another fascinating aspect of reproduction: how developed those offspring are when they're born or hatched. We're talking about precocial versus altricial development.
Ah, yes, the classic debate. Cute and cuddly versus ready to rumble.
Pretty much. Think about a baby horse, a precocial animal. It's born with its eyes open, able to stand shortly after birth, and ready to keep up with the herd.
They hit the ground running, literally.
Exactly. Now, on the other hand, you have altricial animals, like many birds and marsupials. These little ones are born relatively helpless, often blind, featherless, or furless, and completely dependent on their parents for warmth, food, and protection.
So it's like a trade-off, right? Precocial animals come ready to roll, while altricial animals require a lot more parental investment up front.
You nailed it. And the thing is, both strategies are successful in their own right. Precocial development is often favored in environments with high predation pressure, where being able to move quickly is crucial for survival. Altricial development, on the other hand, allows for larger brain size and more complex behavior down the line, thanks to all that parental care and nurturing.
So it's not just about how an animal gives birth, but also the kind of care they provide to ensure their offspring's survival. It's a whole interconnected web.
And that, my friend, is the beauty of evolution. It's a constant dance between adaptation and survival, with reproduction playing a leading role in shaping the incredible diversity of life we see around us.
Well, folks, there you have it. I hope you enjoy this whirlwind tour through the wild world of vertebrate reproduction. From the ins and outs of fertilization to the amazing adaptations of the amniotic egg, the different birthing strategies, and the spectrum of parental care.
It's a testament to the power of evolution that there isn't just one right way to make a baby. It all comes down to what works best in a given environment and for a particular species' lifestyle.
So the next time you see a bird feeding its chicks, or a herd of zebras on the move, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey those animals took to get here. It's a story millions of years in the making, and who knows what fascinating adaptations evolution has in store for the future of vertebrate reproduction.
The possibilities are endless.
That's it for this deep dive. See you next time, listeners.